There we go. We're live.
All right.
Cool.
We did it again, folks. We made it.
We made it. Oh, gosh. Well, how was the week?
The week was good. The week was good. Yeah. So, should we dive right into it, Dan?
Let's dive right into it. Yes.
Okay. We're talking statistics today, folks. So, King County, month's supply of inventory is at 0.9 months. The market is doing a little bit of a slowing down. Not much, but just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All of the statistics for days on market are starting to increase. So whether you're looking at the median or you're looking at the average days on market that a listing stays on before it goes pending or before it gets sold, those are increasing. And they have been increasing for a number of weeks now. So 41% of sellers in King County set offer review dates. That's also lower. So sellers are losing a little bit of, confidence that they're going to get sold in that first week with multiple offers. So I always think that's interesting, because a lot of that information that sellers get is from their listing agent, right? So the agent is their source of the information, whether they should set an offer review date. I usually encourage sellers to do it if they're really super prepared for the market. So for the week of June 18th to June 24th, 49% of sellers did get under contract within the first 7 days. And so
that's down a little bit?
That was 49%.
Is that down a little bit from the previous week?
Those numbers are softening. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. And from June 4th to June 17th, 58% got under contract within the first 14 days on the market. So again, both of those numbers are slipping a little. So and I'm seeing a continuing softening over the weeks. They might go up 1 or 2% for one of the numbers, but in general, they're coming down. Right. So anyway,
first nothing drastic, but just
no, bottoms not falling out. No, and to be fair, it's still a really strong seller's market. A really strong seller's market. So if you went to put your house on the market, you've got almost a 50% chance it's going to get under contract within the first 7 days. So honestly, you really can't argue with that. That's still a really good seller's market. So Snohomish County, month supply of inventory is it's actually back down to 0.7 months. I think that's reflective of the holiday weekend. So not as many people listed their homes this past 7 days. And so that's directly impacted our MSI, this particular number. We've been at 0.9 months for quite a while. So I would expect that goes back up to 0.9 by next week. So, but again, your median and your average days on market for both your active and your pending listings is increasing. So, and it's fairly dramatic. Actually, I could tell you really quick. So Snohomish days on market average for actives is up to 57 days. So median is 30. And I'm going to go into what the difference between median and average is in just a few minutes. But pendings, so for pending listings that are actually under contract now,
yes,
20 days average on the market for pendings and 7 days median. Well, I'll tell you the median on pendings has been 5 and 6. So that's starting to creep up. So those numbers are going up now on a weekly, bi-weekly basis. So pretty significant, actually.
That's good.
Think about it. Yeah. So that's Snohomish County. So Pierce County is at 0.9 months. So we're all about the same around here. Really similar numbers. Average days on market for actives is 59. Down in Pierce County, with the median being 30 for active listings.
Well,
Dan, it's the Cat and Dan show. You can't just disappear on me.
Sorry, everything froze up. All of a sudden, you were in mid-sentence and everything froze on your end. I don't know what happened, but there we go.
So, all right. And so It looks like only 19% of sellers set offer review dates down in Pierce County. So it's a little bit softer of a market down in Pierce County. So let's see, June 18th to June 24th, 44% went under contract sellers went under contract within 7 days on the market. So still a pretty good seller's market, really, 44%. That's a big number, really, to be fair, within 7 days.
If we're going back to like the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about different stuff. And if you had 3 bullet points for helping sellers sell their home as quick as possible, I'm going to throw these 2 of the 3 bullet points out and see if they're right. And then you can come up with a 3rd bullet point. How's that? But the 2 takeaways I've got is, 1, if you stage your home, it helps a lot. And then the second thing is that I remember is if you price the house right out of the gate, you're much more likely, you're better off pricing it right to start with rather than going a little bit high and hoping you catch a bid. Is that reasonable?
Yes.
Advice in there?
You have to be 100% ready for the market. You really should be.
Yeah.
It's a painful mistake to think that you can start high and then lower your price and come down, because the expectation from buyers is they need to get out and see the house within the first 7 days on the market, or they might miss it. So if you're not 100% ready to roll and priced right, they're going to pass you by. Everybody's looking at the same houses, guys. So you've got, if you've got 30 buyers in the $600,000 price range, those 30 buyers are seeing the homes that are priced in the $600,000 price range. Well, the ones that look the best, they get the offer. You can't make 10 offers in the same week. I mean, you can, but most of them have set offer review dates for the really nice properties, right? So it's a big mistake to miss that window, because once you miss that window, as you've been listening to my numbers here, most of the homes that are going to get sold sell in the first 7 days. Right? It's a big number, 44 to what is it, 50%? Almost 50% are getting sold within the first 7 days on the market in all 3 counties. So you don't want to miss that window. And a lot of those sellers are actually going to get multiple offers, which is huge. Yeah. Because just one other offer is incredible, because between the 2 offers, you get to pick between 2 different financing. Maybe one of them's cash, which is amazing, right? Maybe one of them's waived the inspection, or maybe they both want it so bad that they have waived the inspection and they're willing to escalate $50,000 over. Well, that's big. That's really what you want. You're going to miss that. If you're on the market more than 7 days, you're going to miss that opportunity more than likely. So it's windows clean, tracks clean, window tracks cleaned. Please have your window tracks clean. It makes the windows look brand new. Sparkly for the camera. Very important, folks. We want sparkle. So
let's shine, people.
It helps you be the shiny object, if you will, on the market. So, floors cleaned, whether they're carpets, probably should have those steam cleaned. Replace any flooring that's not in really usable condition. If it's damaged, you probably do need to replace it. So driveways cleaned, right? So pressure washed, decks gently cleaned. The yard manicuring the yard, having a professional come out and do it, it makes all the difference. You're going to get, it's going to be edged. You can have them freshen up the bark. It makes a tremendous difference when you've got your professional photographer out there filming, doing videos and putting together Matterports, which, everybody wants their house to look amazing online. Well, you really want everything to be perfect for the photos, because that's what's going to get the people to your house. So,
and it sounds to me like professional photography is a pretty big deal also.
It's the biggest deal. It is. You have to have a good team of photographers. I know you're laughing at me, Dan, but I'm not.
No, I'm laughing at me.
I'm serious about that. I'm serious
I
about that
sound
shit,
like
Dan.
a real estate idiot here when I'm asking you these simple questions, but they're popping into my mind. So simple minds ask simple questions. I apologize for interrupting. Go
And
ahead.
the staging piece of it, it's to help buyers imagine how nice the space can look with just a few pieces of artwork and furniture. And so it also distracts. And I wanted to mention this to you last time we talked about staging, but staging also helps detract your eye from, let's say your house was built in 1989 and you've got some dated trim, right? You've got the oak trim, right? Well, that's going to distract your eye. It's going to modernize it by putting in this nice contemporary, flashy interior furnishings with, artwork and throws and modern pillows and area rugs. Area rugs can be a great way to spruce up a room, even if it's carpeted. And I've used that as well to help get the home. It makes buyers want to go. They want to come. They want to go see the house if it looks attractive.
So now I'm just guessing, but I'm thinking avocado colored appliances have not made a comeback yet, have they?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Bathrooms. I'll tell you what. I had a client say, "I love the aqua bathroom." So aqua toilet, aqua sink, aqua tub, and they bought a place down in Tacoma, and she loves that bathroom. It's so cute. I love that. So you never know, but I don't see the avocado appliances coming back anytime soon.
We haven't come back.
So
Such a shame.
do we miss those, Dan? You remember those?
I remember
Don't
them.
answer that question. You're gonna date yourself.
Yeah, I remember things like, avocado appliances, orange carpet, burnt orange used to be the color of the day. Things like that, little things. But those are the memories from childhood.
I wish I didn't remember the shag carpeting that you had to rake. Remember raking the shag carpeting? That's just those are things I don't want to revisit.
But at least we've, that's progress for you. Here we are in the 2020s and no more avocado appliances or shag carpeting. So we've made progress.
So we can talk about, hey, my daughter and I went down to Aberdeen today.
Yes.
And we called you along the way and we said, hey, what does it look like if we were to put an offer in on a triplex that we were going down there to take a look at? And folks, this triplex, oh my gosh. So the guy painted it last year before he was going to sell it. And he painted it green. Now, not just any green, mint. The main part of the house was mint. And then it had about a 6-foot foundation exposed that he painted grass green. I mean, he really dived into the green.
Money green.
It's okay, but anyway, so we get there, and the bottom unit, the ground floor unit's 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath, and that was the one that was empty, and we could go ahead and take a look at. So we get parked after we went the wrong way on a one-way street. My daughter was, I'll just put it this, my daughter was driving. It wasn't my decision. Although I was on board. I have to tell you, I was actually on board to turn right on there, but it was actually going through Aberdeen, coming at you. We had to tuck into a driveway. Oh my God, she about had a heart attack, and so did I. We see all this traffic coming at us. But we're distracted trying to figure out where this little house is. And the multi-green colors on the outside doesn't really look like it does on the MLS. Anyway, so we avert disaster. We get parked. And we go in. And it's kind of nice. But Dan, I've talked to you about duplex, some of the duplexes down there in the Aberdeen area. And they have the wonky floors, right? Because Aberdeen, much of Aberdeen was built in the early 1900s, literally like 1900 to 1920. Like there's just a whole bunch of homes down there. And so the floors are really wonky. Like some of them have a little hump in the center. Some of them are just a true downhill slope, you know. So this one had some of that, like a combination of all of those. And the ceilings were, anyway, yeah, you know, I mean, the ceilings were high in a good portion of it. But in other areas, they were kind of not ideal. Not ideal. But anyway, so
a
they've
little
got,
rough.
yeah. So they have the upstairs, the 2 units upstairs rented for, I think it's a little over $1,800 a month. So the downstairs unit is actually 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. And so feeling like $1,500 a month is not unrealistic for that. And so it would cash flow amazing because it's listed in the mid 200s. Right. So that's kind of affordable. And I think it's positive cash flow, like solidly positive cash flow.
Big time cash flow positive, yes.
Big time positive cash flow because the 2 units upstairs actually will almost cover the payment or do cover the payment, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, so interesting triplex we saw today.
Well,
anyway,
you know,
and then we interviewed First Harbor Property Management.
Uh-huh.
And that was interesting because we wanted to know what the vacancy rates were in the area. And if they were having any kind of layover effects of COVID, people not paying their rent due to COVID and stuff, because they did have a fair amount of that during COVID.
Right.
And she assured us that yes, it was greater than pre-pandemic, but that it wasn't rampant, that people were actually being responsible and paying rent. So anyway, we were concerned about things like that. And then we found out what they charge to do property management down there. It's, you know, one of my clients is actually using them. So I thought it was worth a phone call. So they operate very similarly to the Windermere property management that I use in my house in Woodinville.
Well, you know, the funny thing is you can overlook a lot of flaws for a big positive cash flow. It covers a lot of humps in the floor.
That's a true story. Yes, it does cover some little bumps in the floor, a little slope here and there. Might be able to overlook that. And the property manager was able to reassure us that the slopes in the floor don't deter renters. So when a person's looking for a place to live, it's not usually a consideration. So that was good to hear because her and I, we don't show renters places to live. So we don't work with renters. We're not sure how those things are perceived. We know how our buyers would perceive that. And buyers are not terribly fond of, you know, significantly sloping floors. But I have seen buyers overlook it. Right. So I guess the same can be said of renters too.
And I'm sure it depends on the area too. Like most of the houses down in Aberdeen have
they're post and pure foundation. They're post and pure foundation. I mean, it just is due to the age of the home. So, you know, and the knob and tube wiring. I mean, there's going to be some of that.
When in Aberdeen, do as the Aberdeens do.
Aberdenians? Is that a word?
Oh.
They might not appreciate that. Anyway. What do you call yourself, guys, down there? Over there.
Oh, well. Well, it's a nice area, and it
is. Yeah.
It you know, as you were mentioning, boy, it does cash flow, and you know, one of the studies I think we talked about. Boy, I need to get that out on social media. But if you're looking at rents in the area, you know, it's like the worst of the whole area. You know, Western Washington is Seattle, and then the further you get away from the Seattle, the better the rent returns are.
Well,
it's a weird.
You've actually really seen some incredible growth too in multifamily value-wise, right? You know, over the past 10 or 20 years. So, and Pacific County, Grays Harbor County have seen some real significant increases in valuations for rental properties, and a lot of that I think is attributed to people being able to work further from their job if they, so they telecommute essentially.
Right.
So that has it's made the further outlying areas much more appealing and attractive to whether you're renting or you're buying, right? So the rental market has picked up out there, and just like, it has in Snohomish County, especially, right? Further out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's interesting.
Well, but the thing is too, maybe I'm just throwing ideas, mud against the wall, but maybe as a investment property owner, you end up putting more money into internet services than you do into fixing the floors in the future.
Yeah, because and that's something that you always tell people to watch for, is make sure that there are, that they're connected, right? That you have high speed internet, that your cell service provider you have good cell service at that location. So whether you're renting it out or you're purchasing it to live in, and when you go to sell it, you're going to want to make sure that you can say, yes, it has great internet capability. Yeah. I'll tell you what happened. This is not a funny story, but it's a story. My client moved back out here from, I think he was in Alabama. He moved back out here a little over a year ago. I had to go back to work for Boeing, and we looked at a house. We looked at many houses. We did some virtual tours, and then got him into some places when he came out here to do a house hunting trip. And we looked at a house out in Warm Beach. Now, Warm Beach is known for its spotty connectivity issues. But the house, the person we were going to buy this house from, was a realtor, and she knows how important internet is. And he was hired to work remotely. And so, we verified that in fact it did have high-speed internet access. Well, from the time that she moved out and he got moved up here, the internet company sold the line that was servicing his house to the neighbor.
Sold the line to the neighbor?
Yes. The internet line to the neighbor. They hooked the neighbor up so he couldn't get it. That happened. This last year.
What did he end up doing?
Well, he tried satellite.
Yeah.
He tried his cell phone service. That didn't work very well. No. And now he's basically essentially working back at the office again. So he's quite frustrated because, for one thing, it might affect the resaleability of his house in the future, right? Again, we want those modern conveniences, and it was there when she sold it. So that's pretty awful. And he had called to set up service, and they delayed him like 3 weeks. And by the time he did finally end up talking to some other people at that company down the road, he found out what actually happened.
Oh, those dirty dogs.
They were just literally giving him the runaround.
Right.
Literally putting him off 3 weeks at a time. And eventually, a couple months later, he found out that actually the neighbor ended up getting his line. That's just a shitty story. So, realtors doing their due diligence and then being thwarted, dang it. I don't want that for my client. I want my client happy, So, so and now Boeing changed his contract and said he needs to come into the office. So he's really not terribly happy with how that all worked out. So COVID. Oh my goodness. So anyway, yeah, there's that happened. So just because, and this is just word to the wise, I mean, just because the house has internet, it's kind of weird, right? You wouldn't think that could happen. Honestly, right. How does that happen? How does that company just make that decision when that home sells that they're going to give the neighbor the line? I don't understand how that can happen.
I've never heard of that before. I've never ever heard of that before.
Happened.
That is amazing.
Crappy. Yeah.
Oh,
that's a hard one. Yeah. Hard pill to swallow. Yeah. But anyway, going back to the whole investment conversation,
Oh yeah.
I just, I feel like this is a pretty good time to get into multifamily because if it pencils at, I mean, where are we at now, Dan? 9%? I mean, I know you can't say, but I feel like for investment properties we're
It's
somewhere
rough.
teetering between 7.5 and 10. So
Yeah, it
if you
depends on the
can get,
program. They're not good rates right now.
no,
Let's
and
just,
but if you can get it to pencil at the higher interest rates,
yep.
then that only gets better if the interest rates do come down at a certain point. And so to get into an investment property, one, you want it to cash flow, right?
Right.
So make sure that you can cover all the expenses. So down in Aberdeen, you're going to have to cover water, sewer, garbage. And roughly for 2 or 3 units, that's running roughly $3,000 a year. So that's just baked into the equation. You're going to want a property management firm because renting or being a landlord has become extremely difficult in Washington state and to be able to abide by all the guidelines that they've given us. So it's really, really smart to hire a management company. So anyway, so there's that.
And
But if,
ballpark, don't need exact numbers. How much do the property management companies usually cost roughly if you're
yeah, so
penciling things out?
the one I was talking to today, First Harbor, they charge half a month's rent to get it leased. So
Okay.
for the initial lease, and then they charge 10% a month. So that's really good. That's not anything out of the ordinary. They will also handle getting the gutters cleaned. They'll hire somebody who's licensed and bonded, but they'll handle that. They'll schedule that for you. They'll handle getting the roof cleaned and putting that aluminum sulfate on it to keep the moss from growing. So they can do that annually. They'll also schedule for the landscapers to come out just during the months where it's the growing weather, right? And so they'll handle all those tasks for you, which would be routine maintenance tasks. So you don't have to go down there and handle those yourself. So it can make it really, really super easy. And then they handle the collection of rents. And if any notices need to be provided for a service provider taking care of the roof or the landscaping, then they just handle all of that. So, and that's included in their 10%. And then obviously you pay the service provider that they schedule, right? You're paying to have the roof cleaned. So it's a separate charge. But that's essentially the way Windermere Property Management operates in King County, where my office is in Woodinville. So it's a really nice way to go. It keeps me out of the mix. I don't have to really get involved in any part of it that I don't want to.
Right.
So the management.
And it sounds pretty much indispensable because
well, it is because, the rules and regulations regarding landlords in Washington state has become it's just become hard to comply with all of them, all the rules and regulations when it comes to communicating with the tenant. So I think it's really easy to make a mistake that costs you money. Yeah. So I strongly recommend, a management company. Makes all the difference. So then, I mean, really, one, you're looking to see if it pencils, and you're going to put 20 or 25% down. There's just not going to be any way around that unless you're going to buy it and move into one of the units. Then that's a different kind of a loan. That's just a conventional loan at that point.
Yeah, owner occupied. Yeah,
owner occupied.
Better rates. Yeah.
Yep. So that's one way you could do it. So somebody could move into that big unit on the ground floor, the triplex we took a look at today, move into that 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, and the rents for the upstairs would essentially make the payment. So it's pretty sweet situation.
Yeah.
So there's some things that are wrong with it. There's, back to the investing thing. So, so what you need really as a potential investor is you need the down payment. That's probably the biggest thing, the down payment and the closing costs. But at
the nice thing is on the property you're mentioning, I think that came in the mid twos, I mean,
down payment is what, 30, 35, 40,000. I mean, with including closing costs.
It's very reasonable. Yeah. I mean,
50, 40, 50. Yeah. 50,000.
Yeah. And it was, Very, very reasonable,
Mhm.
from a down payment standpoint and
Totally.
cash flow standpoint. I mean, the whole thing pencils out very nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yep. And it's not just me, but I have other people in my office that have noticed that area. So, but this video is not going to be released, by the way, until we're under contract. Just saying.
Well,
We're
I'll
not
have to
looking for to create multiple offers for my daughter here.
You don't want to create competition for Michelle. No,
This is a
not at all.
delayed release video.
That's right.
Except for those of you on the live on TikTok. Don't write an offer on that one. Shame on you. Don't even think about it.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, man.
Well, how was the 4th? Got to ask you about the 4th. How was the
Oh
4th?
my gosh. Well, I got over to Kingston Sunday morning and met my daughter. She's holding she's sponsoring a kids corner at the farmer's market to entertain the parents' kids, right? The littles. And so she had cornhole set up. She had mini golf. She had coloring. She had free bubbles for everybody. She had free water. She had, oh my gosh, she had so many games and things for the kids to do. Oh, she had a face painter painting all the kids' faces for free. All this for
Oh,
free.
that's so cool.
For free. So she's paying, cost her like $500 to sponsor, So,
Right.
but they gave her a big giant area of the lawn down by the water. So she's way over by the water section at the marina there in Kingston, and so it's obviously it's cooler because it's right next to the water, but it's right there too where they do the outdoor concerts. And she sponsored the concerts for the summer. So she got a big old banner hanging up in the music venue, the stage.
Oh, how
Over the
cool.
stage. Yeah. So, but so it was a huge hit. 5 hours. She was there from 10 to 3 with her face painter, little gal. And the gal that was face painting did a great job. So cute. So many pictures of little kids' face. She had a line almost the entire time for face painting. A line.
Oh, that's so nice. That's cool.
So it was a huge hit. We met a bunch of people. I showed up about 11, so I was there an hour after they got going because I had to come over from the other side of the water, wait for a ferry and stuff. But yeah, so we did that. And then in the evening, we came back for the concert. Betsy and the Boys is the name of the band that was playing that evening. And they played the song 9 to 5. So it's kind of fun. I did a little video of that.
That's the old Dolly Parton song, right? Yeah.
Yep. So they're a fun band. It was fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and the kids, kids just get to run around and they throw the football back and forth. And, it's nice and cool by the marina. So even if it's 85 degrees inland, right there at the marina, it's usually in the 70s. So it's even, the height of the day. So really nice. Yeah. Yeah. So what about you? What'd you do on the 4th, Dan?
Oh, just hung out with some friends and had a great time. And we were hanging out on the porch. And boy, it was nice weather. It was really nice. So
it was kind of perfect.
It was perfect. We cooked, barbecued some hamburgers and had a few libations, and it was a very nice 4th of July. We had a wonderful time.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
it was wonderful. Yeah. Yep. So that's what we did.
It's a funny thing up here for folks that are outside the Seattle area. The 4th of July weekend is a little bit hit and miss. You can either get the really nice weather, but once in a while you get, when I first moved to Seattle, I was told summer doesn't start until after the 4th of July.
July 5th.
July 5th.
Summer starts July 5th. Remember that.
And that's not a bad rule of thumb to live by.
It's not. So, and what I was told when I was at Glacier National Park in Montana, my girlfriend and I, we went up there. I want to say it was like August. It was the beginning of August, right around maybe the 2nd, 3rd through the 9th, something like that. We got there and we camped out at the first night. We went hiking and we backpacked in and slept outside, and so that was interesting, but that was enough of that for me. So the next day we decided we were going to stop at the lodge and see if we can't get some kind of room, so with a real bed. Anyway, so we do that, and they put us in the, like, next to the boiler. It's a little room, it was a tiny little room with a couple twin beds in it, literally for overflow guests. So we got the last room that they really didn't want to rent. So we got that. We literally were out that evening, and we're shooting pool. So we went to this, there's an Indian reservation over there. And we went to this Indian reservation pool. It's like a pool hall, kind of a bar, pub kind of situation. And we started playing pool against the guys that were already there. So it was her and I against the two guys to try to win the table, I guess is how that works, right? So they asked, this is a funny story. My girlfriend, Monique, she tells it so much better than I do. But so I wasn't going to drink anything unless I just wanted white tequila. They didn't have it. So I asked for water. And so this comes into play because she went first and then I went second, so then they try to sink a ball and whatever. I don't remember what happened there. Then I ran the table. So I have this thing called beginner's luck. And I'm not joking. I ran the table. They actually physically picked us up and threw us out the front door. They thought we were sharks. They thought we were playing them. They thought I was a pool player.
Oh.
And I really feel like I was, man, what's his name? Minnesota Fats. They thought I was like Minnesota Fats. I could just go. I'm like, heck no, that ain't me. I'm so proud of myself. I ran the table,
Well, I only have one.
I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. And they were like, oh, right, ladies, out. So the reason I'm telling you the story is because we went outside and it was snowing.
Oh, they threw you out in the snow?
It literally had started snowing while we were in there. And so the temperature because it was like 85 degrees that day. And the temperature must have dropped from 85 to, 30 something degrees, in the span of a couple of hours. So we ended up going back to the lodge. By the next morning, there was like 1.5 feet of snow on the ground in August. It's August, And we got kicked out on our butts when I ran the pool table by accident.
All I can say about running the pool table is from the Minnesota Fast, but money won is twice as sweet as money earned. I think that's the line. Anyway, that was the Paul Newman line there.
Yeah. There you go.
Gosh.
So, hey, you have to tell me what you learned about reverse mortgages today, since I couldn't join you.
I learned a lot, actually. Well, all right. The honest truth is, I didn't learn a lot because I knew it all, but it was good to hear it in a nice.
You knew it all, Dan?
Well, you got to go through all your trainings and all that stuff, but it was a very nice presentation. It really was, and we talked about. The different situations that you've got for reverse mortgages, and as you're getting older, how a lot of times you rack up some debt. You've got house payments, you've got maybe you're downsizing, and you've got a big capital gain, and and you're rolling, a lot of profits coming from the house that you're selling, and then what do you do with all that money? Do you like if you had, I don't know, he used the example where, let's say you sold a house, you had $400,000 left over, you were going to downsize, buy a $500,000 house. Do you put all 400 into the house, or do you, tuck a little bit, hold some back, and then maybe put 250 into the house, and then use a reverse mortgage for the rest. So you put 250 in one time, but you've got no more payments except for upkeep and taxes and things like that, but you don't have a mortgage payment, right? And it's for certain situations for purchasing a house, it makes a lot of sense. Not for every situation, but for certain ones.
Then does your balance grow? Is that how that works? Your balance on your loan grows?
It does. Yeah. It's a negative amortization loan, basically. but it's a non-recourse
It's
loan.
like this on occasion. Oh, you're
Yeah.
back. That's nice of you to join us, Dan.
Yeah. Oh, so did I freeze again?
Oh, I
Hello?
have to. You know what? I have to end my. I'm going to get a permanent ban here, I guess.
Oh! I hope you don't get that.
I wonder why it says that.
You're
Does
getting
not
a
end
permanent
within 5
ban?
minutes. All right, I need to close this out. And now, okay. I don't know. It said something. Wonder why it said I had to close in 5 minutes. Wonder when they issued that. Live has ended. 327 followers, 6 viewers who commented.
You had 327 folks in the live stream at TikTok.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
175 likes.
That's
I
fantastic.
wonder what that comment was. It said I had to end within 5 minutes. I don't know that I did that. Or face a permanent ban. I have no idea. Let me see. That's kind of crazy. Can't figure out where I'm supposed to go here to. Let's see. I think it's under profile. So I just shut it down really quick. I think I got plenty of good stuff in there, but let's see.
Maybe we went over a half hour or something like that. Was there a half hour?
I feel like I don't feel like there's a minimum or a maximum on there. Creator tools. Let's see. Live center. That's so weird. But it was like on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like it was somebody who posted it, but I mean, maybe. I'll have to ask Michelle. Yeah, I don't know.
Boy.
Anyway, all right. Well, that's okay.
Okay.
I was done with that anyway. Now it's just you, Dan. Now I'm not talking to any TikTokers.
Yes. Now you're talking to 08 subscribers who haven't tuned in yet. See, now you can start pouring the vodka.
Oh, me now I can make this leaded?
Yes, you can make it leaded now.
It's not leaded. Dang it. I need lead in it.
That's right. That's
I prefer it with lead. Mr. Fat Tuesday, you want to say hi to Dan? Here. Come here. Let's put you on camera. Here, go say hi to Dan. Look. There he is.
Hello, Mr. FT.
He's MFT. This is MFT for short.
That's right.
There he is.
Oh, you're looking sharp.
I got my blue bow on. Oh, you better not put you up here. I got chicken up here. I'm gonna eat my chicken. Oh my gosh. Well, how do you think that went, Dan? You think it went all right?
I thought it went great.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah. No, I thought it went great. I'm always thinking these topics that we're talking about, and that you're talking about. As we're talking about them, I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, that's a good topic. We'll have to clip that out." And by the time we're done with these live streams, it's like, "Oh gosh, there's got to be at least 20 clips out there for."
And I never get through them. You know that I have all that footage from all our other weeks, and right. I never get through it all. Like I get through like a 10 or 20 minute section of it, and I'm done. Like then we're on to the next week, and I'm like, oh my god, I have all this footage that I could literally make other clips, and little stories out of and stuff. It's interesting.
That's what it's what I was thinking about today before our live stream. I was thinking about the reverse mortgage stuff that we were doing, and he sent me some PowerPoints before we did it, right? He sent me a PowerPoint, so I was flipping through the PowerPoint, and he was just basically talking through the PowerPoint, reading it off for the most part, and then and talk. But it made for a really good organization because you just make one clip for every PowerPoint. Basically, you got a lot of content out there,
right?
And but I was thinking the same thing. It's like, oh my goodness, you have to get through it and actually, edit it and clip it out, and
it takes time too. I mean, this is not a super quick, simple process because I'm cutting out all my and the And I repeat myself. See, I just did it there. I repeat myself so often in the same sentence. Like
this
I
whole
do.
yeah, it's very interesting, all the little things that go into these videos, because like and what comes out of it, because like now I'll be on YouTube watching folks an easier way to edit videos, or all these apps to do
Mhm.
these video editing stuff, or
Right.
apps to add captions, and it's just
Right. Right.
it's interesting. I mean, it really is. I'm learning a lot.
There's a lot to it. I mean, there's a heck of a lot to it, you know.
But that's the one, we were talking about this here a couple weeks ago, and I really do seriously appreciate all the work that these young kids are putting into these really, as an old guy, I don't
Videos.
really, yeah, all these videos that they're putting
Yeah.
out, and they're interesting. They're, they're catchy.
Mhm.
And I think to myself, well, I don't put out interesting videos or catchy videos, but well, I mean, it's not that they're not interesting videos, but you know what I mean with all the video editing that these kids do.
Right.
And
Right.
but it kind of sets the bar a little higher. It gives me something to aspire to. I need to aspire to be 14 again or something. I don't know.
Well, it is interesting. Video is just a different, it's just another medium, to connect with people, and it is interesting. It's an interesting medium. I've always just done, paper marketing, where you're mailing, to a farm or your past clients. And now some of my clients are actually like videos, so like Vidi and Amanda, they're on TikTok,
Yeah.
and so they like some of my stuff and I put it on there. But I'm getting better with documenting. I call it documenting, life documenting.
Uh-huh.
So for instance, when I came over to the farmers market on Sunday, I went ahead and within probably a half an hour of getting there, I started doing some videos of Michelle's tent set up, with her banners and everything, and her play area out there. And so I ended up putting that in a video and posting it. And then in the evening, came back to the marina, because she lives, what, a mile? Not even a mile from the marina. It's great. We just pop
Oh,
in.
wow, that's nice. She's got a
So
good spot.
amazing. So amazing. So we just came back, and they had a beer wine garden, grabbed a glass of wine,
Right.
and listened to the music, let the kids run wild. And so it's really fun. And again, they started playing I could tell they were going to start playing 9 to 5, because there's an intro to it. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
went ahead and I turned my camera on, and I walked my way around from the side of the stage where we were happened to be standing, and I walked all the way around to the front and just kept videoing the whole time the stage, and caught a pretty good minute and a half of 9 to 5.
Oh,
So,
nice.
and I posted that, and that did okay. I, 2, 3, 400 views,
Well,
and the same thing with the farmer's market. You never know what somebody's, when,
two, two to
what
three
people like.
hundred. Boy, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Well,
That's
I've had some with a couple thousand.
oh,
I've had some that have got more than that, but just recently, the one I did about the cabinets, that
mhm.
blurb about the cabinets, that's at, I think that's over 2,000 now.
Plastic cabinets.
Yeah, remember when I went on and on about the plastic cabinets?
Yes, I do. I was thinking when you were going on and on about it, I was thinking that's going to make some good content. I got a quick question to ask you. Hang on,
Sure.
I gotta show you something. I'll be right back. Hang on.
All right. I'll be here.
Well, it's just a short little. I'm just right over here. So okay, so I'm taking some liberties here with the live stream.
Yeah, we're taking liberties. I know. I'm on TikTok. I don't even know what happened, but I got threatened with a lifetime ban if I didn't end my TikTok. I'm like, what's that about?
Oh goodness, you'd think the moderators would have something better to do with their life.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I haven't gone into whatchamacallit, but I did. I found this old because I remember I got it like 2 years ago during COVID, and they had this little tripod, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I got this I can't remember. I said, it's a funny thing. I've got this really nice microphone that I still haven't figured out how to hook up yet. So I've been using my live stream microphone, but it came with this nice tripod. So
Oh,
I have to go over for next week when we go to it's the 11th, right?
yes,
Uh, we're gonna be up in Everett, right?
yes, yep.
And is there a time yet for it, like 10 in the morning or afternoon?
I think it's 12:30. Let me
Oh,
see.
good. Okay.
Yeah, so it won't be too early. Let me see.
So I'm figuring they got to have some sort of
12:30.
something. They got to have something to, you take this top off, and then there's got to be something to screw on these little tripods so that
Uh-huh.
your iPhone will fit in there. I'm guessing, so you can take
Yeah,
pictures.
do you so this here's one. Here, I'll show you this one here. So this one has this little thing here, and you put your cell phone in, like it stretches out like that. See,
Oh,
so and it's attached to this little tripod,
tripod.
and
Yeah.
then this all extends out. You know,
Okay. Yeah. This
so and
one's
it
not as nice as that one, but as long as it sits on the table and doesn't move, I think we're in good shape.
yeah, then it just folds up like that.
Yeah. This one's just.
But yeah, so yeah, no, and I have one at home. I'm at my daughter's house right now, so I never
Okay.
got home because we ended up going to
I was
Aberdeen.
I was wondering about that. If you're driving home and then do it or just do
Well,
it.
thank God I wasn't going to try to go home because the traffic coming through Aberdeen from the coast of all
Yeah.
these long weekend people that stayed there for the weekend. Oh my God, it was just back to back. I mean, it was the biggest line of cars going through Aberdeen. We're like, oh, thank God we're going back up the peninsula, to Kingston because I, I don't know what that would have looked like me trying to go through Tacoma and
Well,
that sounds ugly.
I almost didn't. I didn't say this in the email that I sent you, but as far as the DSCR loans are concerned,
Mhm.
because I made a couple calls and emailed out, and I went on a few lender sites, and a lot of it was depending on. It's like there's so much variability on what the rates are because
I know.
that's the tough part. It's
Yeah.
tricky.
Yeah.
And without all, it's like the DSCR loans are almost the opposite. They're more like commercial, and they're
Yeah.
almost the opposite of a regular loan where you can just go onto the website and get the rates, right? This
Yeah.
one they like to see, well, what's the loan? What's the structure? What's the all?
Right.
They like to get all the information first, and then you end up getting the rate spit out, and it makes it a little tricky,
It
right?
is harder. Yeah.
You
Yep.
don't want to give a bad quote, and so
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
trying to tap dance around it, but to be honest, I was tap dancing a little bit around it.
Yeah. Oh,
But but
totally.
but it
Yeah.
is kind of tricky. So,
Well, Michelle was asking because
the
well,
story,
this is the deal with Michelle and her husband, and they're trying to buy an investment property. If she's on the title,
mhm,
then she
they
can't
can't
list
get
the
the commission,
property.
right.
She can't list the property. She can buy it, but she can't list it when it comes time to sell it. So she's not on the title. So then her husband will have to qualify on his own, which he probably does.
Well, couldn't they
Yeah.
buy it and then quit claim off?
She's done that in the past, but you're not really supposed to be doing stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So they're
Well,
trying to do it where they're not quit claiming her off, for obvious reasons.
right, okay,
So yeah,
okay.
so they don't want her company to find out that her husband's name is Michelle Nathan Cook.
Yes, that's right. That could be a little trouble.
Well, the thing of it is that why wouldn't she want to sell her own properties? Of course she does. I mean,
Of course, yeah.
and most brokerages don't have an issue with it. It's just Windermere. Windermere doesn't want us selling our own properties. So what winds up happening is we get a friend of ours in the office to do it for $500, and then we essentially wind up handling it ourselves anyway because we're the one that knows everything about the property. So our friend is getting the offer for us, and then we're looking at it, because that's how it
Well,
works. I mean, that's because you're the seller, and you're the
I
seller.
I'll
And.
I'll double check on the DSCR stuff because I did talk to some of the reps, and I did go on and check it out for like 3 different lenders. It's just that the variance was so wide. I was like, oh, what should I quote? And so it gets to be a little bit tricky.
Hey, you know
So
what it says at the top of my screen?
what's that?
It says stream this to your audience. I'm clicking on that. Oops, what happens here?
Oh,
Log in or create an account to send this stream to your own social accounts. I don't know how to do that.
Well, you know what? Today I am live stream. I'm not only live streaming to Facebook, or not to what's the other one? YouTube. I'm doing YouTube, but apparently I also click the right buttons, and I'm live streaming to the Facebook account.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, good for you.
Yes.
Look at us live streaming all over the place.
So now we've got 14 potential subscribers, 8 from YouTube and the 6 that I already have on Facebook. You put those together,
we're going to be famous, Dan.
We're going to be famous.
I love this is so low pressure, like I'm not worried about what I say, because there's not very many people,
Well, that's exactly why I think in a way there's sort of a beauty in it, because you could be a little bit looser,
more candid.
More candid. It's, we can edit out whatever whatever.
Yeah, to release videos. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. And that's what the fellow this morning was asking me. I had to sidestep that question. He says, "Well, how many people is this going out to?" I said, "Well, we're not really doing it for the people watching the live stream. Where you edit it out,
both hands,
send it out on TikTok and this and that, and okay. So anyway,
so I think I can sign up for free, and then it says stream this to your audience. I wonder if I should just sign up for that yard stream and see if it lets me do that.
Well, let me they've got to have, there's some sort, I'm sure they have some sort of something you can email to customer support. I'll bet you. They'll probably have some sort of answer for that, I bet you.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder if
figure out what all the funny little, deals we can do with that are,
Well, I'm wondering if you could take this live stream that we're doing, if you could hook it up to your TikTok account.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So maybe you wouldn't get the warning.
Let me just click on that again.
It
says log in to create. Okay, it says stream this to your own social accounts: Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, etc.
I'll bet you could do it the same way I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Which it was really easy. You just kind of put in your username and password for Facebook and YouTube, and that was it.
Huh.
Then then I figured out how to click the right button.
Right. It says sign up for free. Oops, can you see me? You probably can't see me now.
No, I can see you.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't see you because I clicked on the button. Oh, let me see. I'll find you. Here. Let's see. I can do it this way. Oh no, I really did. Here, let me see. Where are you? I feel like maybe that one. No. Oh, I know what I gotta do. I gotta close some windows.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, where is this? Maybe this is you? No, that's ChatGPT. Oh. Huh. Is it? Oh, it's this one. Here we go. I lost you for a second, Dan. Oh my God. Well, I got some funny stories out there. I hadn't even thought about that one, that running the pool table one, and
that was a good story. That was a really good story.
Well, and it was about the freaking snow. And what I was gonna say is everything was back to about the snow. And what people said in Montana is there's 2 seasons in Montana. There's July 5th for summer, and then there's the rest of the year, which is winter. And that's what they said to us when it snowed in early August at Glacier National Park. They were playing golf the day before in tank tops.
I believe it.
Yeah, crazy.
I believe it. Yeah, it's a funny thing. I was looking at what the heck? I can say this over it. But anyway, I was looking at I kind of alluded to it, but I put together a business plan for this hemp project, right? That we were doing.
Yeah.
And the one thing that was interesting about it is that the growing season, you really don't know what the growing season is going to be, because if you come up into late April, early May, you probably you have a lot of risks that you're going to get some sort of storm. And then if you're going into October for harvesting, you have an equal risk that you're going to get some sort of storm, and you got to kind of like pick your poison, because it's a 16-week grow season. So
right.
Yes, it was just an interesting exercise.
trying to do the risk management analysis.
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, that was so. Yeah, I figured it would be better if the snow came in October than May, because things would be a little hardier by.
Right.
By
Right. For the hemp.
But it was interesting. You learned about all these different groups. I was looking over in Great Falls, and they have a big, a couple big communities over there. Like, what is it? Not Mennonites, something similar to Mennonites. Anyway, that I had no idea they were really very involved. I mean, they were
in hemp production.
Yeah, well, in a lot of different stuff. Like they make. So part of what we were doing is we were going to put together, they have something called hemp wood, and you kind of mash the hemp together. I'm oversimplifying, but you mash the hemp together. It kind of becomes like a wood, and then you can create different stuff, like really lightweight tables, like stuff for IKEA.
Interesting.
It kind of
yeah, interesting. So that it becomes a resource that you don't have to grow. Or, well, you do have to grow it.
Well, you do. The thing is, you can use it for like the wood, hemp wood,
right?
And then clothing, and there's just a lot of different. And the CBD production was a different. There was just a lot of different avenues, and you kind of get into it, and it's very fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
But not as fascinating as lending, by the way, but still very fascinating.
Or real estate.
Or real estate. No, not nearly as fascinating as real estate, but still very interesting.
Well, gosh, I hope I didn't get banned from TikTok.
I have to see if you can log back in.
That was, oh yeah. Let me see. I can actually see if it'll let me do a live. Okay, let's do that. Live analytics. Okay, let's go back this way.
Oh, see, you know what we could do? The after show. we can invite Andy Cohen on. We'll do shots.
Andy Cohen?
Yes, the one I think he's on Bravo.
Let's see, where's my live button? I keep forgetting how to get to my live. I think it's click that plus. And then I wonder if I did get banned. Huh.
I hope not.
I know. That would be kind of crazy. I feel like it's not that one. Is it this one? Maybe it's that one. Oh. I feel like it's this one. Photo, upload story, text, upload story, templates. I actually don't see the option to do a live on here. I wonder if I got banned. Lifetime ban. What did I do to get lifetime banned? Maybe the story about the Indian reservation.
Happy 4th of July, friends. My family.
You know what I mean?
I wasn't. That would be particularly offensive. I mean,
I know. I think I might have gotten banned. That didn't take me long.
Well, at least you can still post clips and stuff, right?
Well, I have to do a screen record. So this was a nice way to get a clean film without a screen record.
Oh, I'm
because it just saved it for me under creator tools. But I think I might have gotten banned. Huh. I'll have to have Michelle look at my phone and tell me if I did. Whoops.
Well, they should give you an email notification, I would think.
You would think so. Yeah.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah, I know. Well, and I was, because I mean, I'm just getting started. I hate
Yeah.
to get a lifetime ban. That'd be terrible. Shit. Oh well. I think I might have been though, because I used to have the choice on here to do a live. Oh, there it is, live.
Oh,
Oh yeah, no, I haven't been banned.
oh, good. Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're not gonna go on again right now.
We'll let it rest a little bit.
Right. Let's let it rest for a second. I'm too worried about getting banned now. I better watch my conversations with you.
That's okay. Not even the censors are watching my YouTube channel, so don't worry about. You can say whatever you want.
I'm not worried about our YouTube. I'm a little worried about my TikTok. I have to, because I don't know what you can say anymore. You know, can you? I mean, of course, they're Indian reservations, right? I mean, there's no other way to say that.
Well, at least they're not called Indian reservations anymore.
God, I know. Jeez. Anyway.
Terrible. Boy, if anyone's ripe for being banned, that would be me. That would.
We're gonna get you banned, Dan.
Oh, I've already been banned.
Oh my God.
Once. I don't even know what for. I couldn't tell you.
Oh my God. Well, it is interesting. The stats are really, they're coming, it's coming down. It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
The housing market. It's just gonna get, I mean, we've reversed the trend. So the trend was, everything's getting better for sellers, right? And now things are it's softening a little bit. You still got like almost a 50% chance of getting into contract in 7 days. So it's not bad.
Well, I'm just wondering if it's things like we're running out of buyers at these high interest rate levels.
Well, that's it. We are running out of buyers. I mean, there's less of them now, right?
Right.
That's why those numbers are going down.
Yeah.
Because there's less buyers making offers. So, and there's, so going forward, it'll get easier for buyers, which is good because I actually have a couple buyers that, would like things to calm down a little bit. So if they do, then I might be able to actually get them into something.
And then once it does calm down, they'll be like, well, I don't know. Like the interest rates come back down a little bit. Let me think about it.
But the thing of it is, as long as you can qualify for it and you're okay with the payment,
right.
The hope that interest rates will come down in the future, there's always that. Whether they do or not, that's a whole other thing. But
yeah, I'm pretty, I hate this is the embarrassing part. I am honestly pretty darn certain that rates are coming down, are going to come down. The problem is until you can figure out why rates are going up right now, because like you have to check off certain variables, and like inflation's the big variable.
Mm-hmm.
It's under control. I mean, it legitimately is under control, and it's under control, and yet rates are still going up. So what's the problem? Is there foreign selling of, which is my concern? Like, because the Chinese own a lot of treasuries and all that kind of stuff. Are they dumping treasuries right now, which is a real possibility because that data is really delayed. But you don't know it because it's so delayed. So there's
what else is impacting the market, right? Yeah, that's still scary. I don't, I heard the other day that China owns or is leasing a lot of our farmland.
Yes.
Have you heard that?
Oh yeah, and they own like Smithfield meat processors. They own a lot of meat processors, and they do own a lot of the farmland.
Yeah.
It's,
I don't know. I like that. I think I don't like that. I mean, I feel like land in the United States should be owned by, obviously by, you hate to say it, but Americans, right? Because it's our country. And, I feel like we we shouldn't be selling off parts of our land to foreign countries.
Well, and the thing is, it's like
It's just so weird, hard to have a conversation like that because, like, I don't,
well, like
whatever.
back in the 80s, remember back in the late 80s, everyone was sort of a similar concern with the Japanese, but the Japanese
Buying up Hawaii.
buying up
Remember that?
Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
And buying up all these big skyscrapers and stuff like that. The prized properties they would call them back then, and everyone was talking about Japanese people, the Japanese buying up everything, but they were not so malevolent as the Chinese. I think are a little bit more Machiavellian, but I don't think they are. They obviously are a lot
Yeah.
more Machiavellian about things, and it's a concern.
Yeah. I feel like it is.
So
Yeah.
that's what's
Okay.
caught me by surprise is because now we're at the other side of the inflation issue. And that part's pretty clear.
Mhm.
Because rent, with rents and all that kind of stuff. And I've got some more content that I got to send out today. It's a really good article at the Calculated Risk, talking about how rents have come down and all that kind of stuff. So that's not an issue anymore. It really isn't if you're looking forward. But if that's not the issue, what is the issue is the question, right? That's
Yeah.
a tough
Well, I think it's interesting because Canada, they had a lot of people buying up in BC, and in Canada up there for years, and they've implemented a 10% foreign tax to dissuade out of country investors from purchasing because their citizens are getting priced out of their own market. So I don't know if that's the answer, but I kind of feel like maybe that's not a bad idea to implement something like that.
Well, the other side of that coin, though, is if you do implement something like that, you're taking an awful lot of hard cash buyers off the market.
Yeah.
What does that do to real estate prices? It's not an easy question,
It's not.
It's kind of tricky.
No, I know. I don't know what the solution is, but I, kind of feel like we're teetering on, it's a little dicey.
Well, it is dicey, but we'll see. We'll soldier on.
Yes.
See what happens.
Yes, we will. All right, Dan, I'm going to go make myself a leaded drink.
Sorry, I kept you over here quite a bit. Sorry
oh
about
no,
that.
You didn't. I keep rattling on.
Good talking to you.
I have a lot of words, Dan.
Well, thank you very much, and hopefully we get some great content out of this. And
yeah, I think so.
More subscribers, and me too.
Yes,
I've got to get some subscribers up on TikTok. So
okay, so now what do I have to do when I sign out here? So I hit leave the studio, and then I have to do something. I think I have to let it finish loading or downloading or something.
Yeah, I'm going to end the broadcast, and then it will load the whole thing, and then because that takes about 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
So that's what I'm going to do too. Okay, see you, Dan.
Okay, thanks, Kat. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.